Welcome, Housewives of True Crime. Monday. How's it going? It's actually I'm recording on a Saturday. I'm supposed to be at baseball, but there is a rain delay. So I decided to take a quick moment and record this episode that I have been looking forward to recording. I just have been so busy this week. And so I'm very, very delayed. Do you guys like procrastinate on stuff? I am the biggest procrastinator. I actually think I do better when I'm put under a lot of pressure. And then I kind of like whip it into shape. And that's kind of what I've done this whole entire week. Also, I wanted to tell you, I don't know if this is just in Texas, but I did find this guy. It's called Arasti, and he's working on Colton Sievers. So thank you guys all for whoever like reached out and told me what you guys have done for your kid Sievers. But Colton has such bad feet, and so we have been going to this guy, this Arasti therapy, and it's been really good for him. So that's actually taken a lot of my time this week. And then also, did anything else really fun happen? Oh, I saw a old Housewives of Dallas yesterday at Avra in Dallas. And her name is Cameron, and I can't remember her last name, but she's got like the blonde hair and she does all the decorations. And she was wearing this long, beautiful dress. She looked very cute. And if you guys are from Dallas or in Dallas, Avra, there is one in Beverly Hills also. It's a restaurant and it's like, I mean, if you want to have some good people watching, there is very good people watching at this restaurant. And the food is also pretty freaking decent. And another thing on my mind is I may be totally crazy, but I think I might get my son a dog. Now, he has wanted a little wiener dog for his entire life. Like he cannot, every time we see one on the road, in the park, anywhere on TV, this kid is like, please, can you please get me one of these Dosh hounds? And he sends me pictures of them all day long. And so I might just bite the bullet and get him a puppy. And I might be totally crazy, which I think I am anyways. But what do you guys think? Does anybody have one of those little wiener dogs? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Am I crazy? Am I not crazy? I don't know. Okay. Also, I'm going to kind of just get right into the case today because I am on a time crunch and it is a shorter one. So hopefully your commute is a little short today. So let's get into it. All right, this case today was brought to my attention from David Scott, who hosts a show called Interview with a Killer on Court TV. And I actually sat down with David to talk about the show and this case in particular. My episode with David Scott is actually coming out on Wednesday, so do not miss it. It's my Wake Up Wednesday series, and I am talking to David this coming Wednesday, and he is going to tell us about the third season of Interview with the Killer that comes out on Saturday. And it's intense, you guys. Like, he actually sits down with these murderers and gets them to talk about stuff that they've never talked about before. I don't know how he does it. Like, he's such a mild-mannered guy. Like, I talked to him before CrimeCon, then we met at CrimeCon. We sat down there, had a really lovely conversation. So, David Scott is just a really, really kind of he's mellow and he's personable. And I guess these criminals just kind of they feel his ease of presence and they just kind of open up with him, which is amazing. So it comes out this Saturday, and I am going to tell you a case of the first person that he interviews. So if you can listen today, then listen to Wednesday's episode. He'll kind of give you a backstory, a little bit about him sitting down with this killer. And then on Saturday, he actually sits down with him and gets in his head. And then we'll see what I want to all reconvene on this topic and see what you guys think. Like, do we believe this guy? Do we not believe this guy? We shall see. Okay, so where did this crime happen? Where am I taking you guys all today? Well, we are going to San Padre Island. Have you heard of it? It is in Texas, and it is south of Corpus Christi. It's actually one of the longest undeveloped barrier island coastlines in the US. And locals say you can drive miles and miles on this shoreline and you'll see like dunes on one side, sea on the other. There's a lot of RVs parked out there. You can camp out as long as you want. It's really wild and a very beautiful place. The water is super warm. Some say it's really a perfect escape. And I have not actually been there. I probably haven't even, well, I went to Port Aransas, which is also down south. And I'll tell you, like being on the Gulf Coast, in Florida, on the Florida side, it is really pretty. The water is really nice and blue and beautiful. And in Texas, and the water's warm too. The water's really warm in Florida. In Texas, in the Gulf side, it's not as blue. It's kind of brown and it is warm. That's good, but it's not as pretty. But I mean, if you don't have to take yourself to Florida, which is pretty far from Texas, and you can still get the beach, I say, why not? I love the ocean. And so do people that go to this lovely place. And in October of 2019, in one of these dunes that I'm talking about, a dark secret would be buried. But before we get into the dark, deep secret of the dunes, let's meet the people that were loving the dunes. James Butler. James went by Jimbo, and Michelle Butler. They love to RV camp, which, listen, RV camping is glamping to me. That's like the only way I want to camp. I don't want to camp in a tent anymore. I used to do that. I did that for a long, long time. I am more bougie than that these days. And so if I'm going to camp, I want to camp in an RV with a shower and a toilet and a bed. And Michelle and Jimbo, they were the same. They were like, we want to camp in an RV and drive all across America. And why the frick not, man? It sounds awesome. These two were both divorcees, and each of these two lovely people, Michelle and Jimbo, they had their own children when they met and they were looking for some love and marriage. So, sometime in the 20 teens, while Jimbo was on a trip to his hometown in New Hampshire, he decided to hit up the local karaoke bar, and lo and behold, this beauty, Michelle, was singing her little heart out. And through duets, they, found each other. And I'm just kidding. I don't know if Michelle was actually singing or not. I do know that they were at a karaoke bar. And I don't know if they did a duet together, but wouldn't that be so cute? I mean, maybe they did. But anyways, these two, I can only imagine, saw each other at the karaoke bar. They started talking to each other. They were like, oh, I'm divorced. Oh, I'm divorced too. Oh, you have kids. Oh, I have kids too. And maybe started smooching a little bit and discovered that they shared a similar dream. This dream was pure freedom, which, I mean, who doesn't dream of that? And an open road in an RV. But, before they could live out that dream, they needed to get married and send their kids off to be adults, which they did. They got married in 2015, and soon after that, they bought an RV together and they planned long vacations. And as soon as the kids were out of the house, they chose the real RV life as a way to see America with no rush, no ties, just plain old memories. They were really two peas in a pod, I would say. But James and Michelle, they were making it work. James was a retired naval air traffic controller who had this like really calm under pressure attitude. I mean, you have to being an air traffic controller. He was extremely disciplined man. Well, Michelle, I imagine she was not as disciplined. She was a huge animal lover. She loved all animals, but she really loved horses, and you could always find her with some sort of animal. She cherished animals so much that she brought her cats on road trips with her. And if you know me, and if you've listened long enough, I probably have told you guys this story. But when I got my first cat, Sweet Face, who some of you, if you've listened long enough, also know Sweet Face because she passed away, mm, I guess a couple years ago now. But Sweet Face was just the sweetest little cat. I could not think about not taking her with me anywhere. And so I took her to Vegas with me. Sean had a work trip and I brought the cat to Vegas. And then she was meowing too loud because I had her in like a little bag. She was a tiny kitten. And she was, so I got her in the hotel, but the hotel was not a hotel for cats. And so she was meowing so much when we left, I thought that somebody was going to report it. So I ended up on Craigslist. You guys, this is back in, when did I get the cat? Um, I got Sweet Face in 2007. And so in 2007, I looked on Craigslist for a cat sitter, or not a cat sitter. I looked on Craigslist for an actual babysitter, and I found one to come to my hotel room to watch the cat for me while we had to go do something for Sean's work, which is so crazy. I'm really not that crazy, but I am kind of that crazy. So I get Michelle. Take your cats wherever you go. I'm with it. And so I know Michelle is a total disco biscuit, and me and her would probably be friends for sure. But by early October 2019, these two, they were on a road trip. They were they were heading to Florida in their RV because I think one of them, maybe both of them, got some part-time work down in Florida. But before they got to Florida, they were going to make a pit stop in Texas to see the Gulf Coast of Texas, which why not, right? Like they have the time, they have the energy, they have the money. They just are like, they're just living their best life. I mean, I think Michelle was maybe 45 and Jimbo was 48 or 49. Like they're young still. They have the I think it's amazing. They got to kind of semi-retire, live this like full-on kind of almost like hippie-ish life, but not, right? So anyways, they make themselves all the way down to Padre Island, and they go to Padre Valley Park. And they found this beautiful, secluded stretch of beach that was just shielded by dunes. It was awesome. They rented a spot, they parked their RV, they set up camp. And this place, if you are familiar with it, they call this place the Bull. And on October 16th, James posted a photo of the RV site and Michelle relaxing with her toes in the water. These two, I mean, oh, and I'm saying he posted this, he posted it on Facebook. These two just really planned to just chill out there for 2 weeks. Now, while chilling out on the Texas coast, these two met a young couple traveling through as well. Their names were Adam Curtis Williams and Amanda Nover. The two were in their early 30s on a road trip from Utah. What they didn't know about their two new loving friends is that they were not on a leisurely road trip to check out the Texas Riviera. They were actually on the run from the law. Adam Curtis Williams was a bad dude, is a bad dude. He had actually already served federal prison time and was on his way back to the Clink for a handful of charges that included first degree felony aggravated assault for allegedly targeting an officer during a domestic dispute that he got in. And if that wasn't bad enough, he also just like a month or two prior to meeting the Butlers, this dude was charged with object rape and forcible sodomy, both in the first degree, and also forcible sexual abuse in the second degree. So this guy is all that in a bag of chips that needs to be in prison. I don't even know why they gave him bail at this point, and he was probably making his way out of jail or to Mexico. Also, I told you that he served some federal prison time, so I looked that up. And back in 2010, he served on drug trafficking charges that included firearms. So this guy is familiar with the law and scary, but to the Butlers, they probably just thought this dude was trying to get away with his girlfriend for the weekend, which he was not. But little did they know that that nice natured man, Adam, would be short lived because after Adam and Amanda befriended the two, they would wait until nightfall to come back to the RV and steal it from the couple. Now, Adam and Amanda are the only ones that know what happened that night. But after the Butler's kids did not hear from them for a couple of days, and there were no more posts, right? They're not posting on Facebook any longer. They got concerned. And so they called the police asking them to check on their parents. Unfortunately, when they got to the campsite that the Butlers had, it had been long vacated. There was no signs of Jimbo or Michelle, no signs of the vehicle, no signs of the RV, no signs of them or that they were there. But the Butlers kids, obviously, they knew they were there. They have proof that they were there because they have Jimbo's picture that he posted on Facebook just days before. And they also are like, their phone's going straight to voicemail. This is not like them. This is not them. So something is off. The Butlers kids made Facebook group, searching for answers and started pressing the police for answers. The police put out a missing persons report and did start looking for this truck and trailer. I mean, it's an RV like attached to a truck that is like long. It's somewhere. Those things are not easy to hide. So it's out there somewhere. And actually, investigators did find it. Well, I mean, they didn't actually find the physical truck and RV, but it was caught on surveillance heading into Mexico. And the guy on the surveillance video heading into Mexico was not Jimbo. It was Adam Curtis Williams, who, of course, at first, authorities didn't know who it was. They just have this man on surveillance video. And so as soon as the surveillance video was released, a ranger came forward to say he knew who this guy was. He had actually pulled over Adam Curtis Williams just days prior for not wearing a seatbelt as he was like going through a national park. He remembers distinctly because Adam has tattoos everywhere. He has tattoos on his head, he has tattoos on his neck. They're very distinct tattoos. And like he's got an anarchy tattoo. I mean, this guy's a piece of business. And so his distinct tattoos, the ranger says, I know who this guy is. Here's who this guy is, Adam Curtis Williams. Also, having those kind of tattoos, you can't really be incognito. Sorry, Adam. The truck that he was actually driving at the time of the seatbelt ticket had also been found. It was abandoned in a parking lot not too far from the campsites and actually towed out of this guy's parking lot in this business. And he also was like, I know that truck. And then the tow truck driver was like, yep, it's registered to this Adam Curtis Williams. So at this point, they know that Adam stole the Butler's car and the camper. But where are the Butlers? Using cell phone data and pings, authorities were able to pinpoint the Butler's last movements, and unfortunately, they did not leave the beach. With a little search, authorities were able to discover the remains of Jimbo and Michelle buried in shallow graves on those dunes in San Padre Island. They both had been shot and moved to these makeshift graves. It is really, really a sad story because it's so freaking senseless. I'm sure these two would have been like, freaking take our damn RV. I don't care. Like, I'll figure out how to get somewhere else, asshole. You didn't have to kill them. You didn't have to like shoot them for no good reason just because you wanted to steal their RV. That's like so mind boggling to me, but that's what this Adam dude did. So basically, they shoot them, make graves, and also Amanda and Adam could run off to Mexico and live happily ever after. Right? I hear like in my head, like this record scratch, like, because obviously that could never work out. Now, Amanda, you are probably thinking like me, like, what in the heck, girl? You are with this douche canoe. You decided to kill a couple and help him escape for what? He's not your husband. You don't even hardly know this guy. He's not the dad of your kid. Like, why, Amanda, did you do this? She has like a cleaner record than her boy toys. So it's hard for me to like wrap my head around why she chose this path with this guy. And I cannot tell you why she chose that, but I know I have a little bit of information about Amanda. I know she had a small child at the time of this murder, and that to me is a reason not to even go to San Padre Island or to think about going to Mexico. But according to her friends, or one of her friends who was on Snapped, she lost her mom at an early age. I think somewhere in like early teenage years, and her mom was really all she had. And after that, she turned herself to drugs and got herself into really bad situations. And again, couldn't pull herself out of them, which kind of explains why she would also get involved with this dude who is a real bad dude. Some might think, and some might have said, that she was forced to do what she did. I don't know. I don't know if she was forced to do what she did, but I do know that Amanda did have remorse for what she did because that is how the police were able to find these two in Mexico. Amanda actually could not really stomach what she had done. And supposedly I'll just tell you now, supposedly she just kind of dropped Adam off. He did the killings and then she helped him bury the two bodies. But she couldn't stomach what she had done. And she probably couldn't stomach thinking the fact that she was going to live in Mexico for the rest of her damn life and in an RV and not ever see her kid. I mean, all of it just to me would seem very, very overwhelming. And I think it was overwhelming. So she started talking and venting to a friend back home. And that friend was able to help authorities with their location in Jalisco, Mexico, where they were actually arrested. Amanda Nover and Adam Curtis Williams were arrested and charged. Adam was charged with capital murder, theft, tampering with evidence, and unlawful use of a firearm. Because remember, this guy is a felon already. He's not allowed to carry a gun or have a gun. And Amanda actually was the one that bought that gun for Adam. Now, whether or not she knew he was going to use it to murder somebody, I don't know. I can imagine. I don't know. I don't know. I want David to actually talk to her also. I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to see because they're both in Texas. And I know a lot of these cases, and this is sidebar, but a lot of these cases that he does do come out of Texas because Texas gives them authority to go in and film. Prosecutors sought the death penalty on Adam Curtis Williams, and I'm sure he did not want to get put to death, although that was the sentence he gave these two innocent people. So on November 10th, 2021, Williams formally pled guilty to capital murder, unlawful use of a firearm, theft, and tampering with evidence, and was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus consecutive sentence for the theft and evidence tampering with an additional 20 years for the firearm. So, I mean, he's in jail for life. Life. He cannot ever get out of jail. They took off the death penalty for him to plead guilty, so they didn't have to go through a whole trial. Also, let me tell you, his charges back in Utah, they were dropped because I think they didn't want to waste the money on a trial when this guy is already in prison for life. Now, sometimes people don't like to do that because the especially like a rape victim doesn't feel like they got justice for themselves. I think that they probably did talk to the victim in that case and ask if, whether or not they wanted to pursue the charges or if they were fine with him being behind bars forever. Um, but it would save a lot of money. The only problem I see with that is that what if for some reason he gets off, I don't know why, that his conviction was overturned in this case and he is free. And then they already dropped those other charges. I think it's not going to happen, but that would be my only hesitation to say, like, no, let's just charge him also with what he did in Utah. Now, as far as Amanda goes, in February of 2022, she pled guilty to complicity in the murders and some other charges, and she was given a 20-year sentence with the parole eligibility in 2039. So she will be um, she will be in prison for a bit longer. It's 2025 right now, so she's got 14 more years to, you know, think about what she did. And unfortunately, she lost the ability to take care of her kid, which I think her mom might have been taking care of her kid anyways at the time. But hopefully she has turned her life around because she will be out of prison one day. And I would hope and pray that she has become a different person in that 14 years. Now, on Saturday, you guys, my friend David Scott is sitting down with Adam Curtis Williams to discuss this case and why and how, why he did this. And supposedly, he is a changed man. Now, this is going to come out on Court TV on Saturday. You can go online. You can, if you have like a smart TV, you can probably watch it on there. Go to Court TV on YouTube and watch Interview with a Killer. I'm going to watch. I'm going to decide myself if I think that Williams is full of shit. But I think we all should watch it. So don't miss this interview with him on Wednesday, on Saturday. But first, don't miss my interview on Wednesday with David. We don't just talk about Williams, we talk about a lot of other people that he sits down with and what the heck he does to get these killers to talk, because actually, a lot of times they admit their crimes to him for the very first time ever. And it's fascinating. We all want to hear like why people do what they do, like what is in their mind. And David somehow gets them to talk. So it's pretty fascinating. I think you will like him. Please listen to my Wednesday episode, and then let's all go to Court TV on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and let's kind of reconvene and see what we thought of William's interview. It was a senseless act. I'm so sorry for the Butlers family, for their children. It's a they they really were just living their kind of best adult lives, and it was really cut too short too soon. So I pray for them, and I hope that they find peace, that they are, that they died together doing something they loved. And until next week, if you can, please, please, please give me a rating or review. A nice one would be awesome. I love nice reviews. I love nice people. And go do something nice for somebody else. It's such a good way to make your heart feel happy and somebody else's heart to feel happy. So if I can ask you to do one thing this week, it is to just do something nice for somebody else. It doesn't have to be money wise, but if you have an extra $5 and you pay for the person's Starbucks behind you in line or something like that, that always makes somebody happy. And or just giving somebody a smile when you're like walking through Target or Walmart or anywhere. Like people just love when people are nice. By the way, I had some asshole again, not nice people. I was pulling out like the McDonald's parking lot the other day, and I had to get over like 3 rows to turn left, right? So I had to like wait. And this douchebag's like honking his horn obsessively at me. And I'm like, because he's going right and right. And then I finally got, and literally, like, it was maybe 10 seconds that I'm like waiting to get over. And then he decides to roll down his window and flip me off. I'm like, oh, thanks. Such a nice, kind man. So don't be that guy. Um, be the guy that just waves, it's like, you want to go in front of me? Go in front of me. You cool. I'm cool. I can wait 5 seconds. All right, I'll leave you guys with that. If you want more of me, I will also be here on Thursday on patreon.com/Housewives of True Crime or the Clink Clink Club if you listen on Apple, or Housewives of True Crime bonus content on Spotify. So hit me up there. I will see you Wednesday. I will see you Thursday. You will see David on Saturday on Court TV, and then I'll be back on Monday. So have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous week. Clink, clink.